I'm Indiana Rhind. I'm co-founder at Farmwall and I'm an agricultural engineer by trade. One of the challenges we're trying to address through Farmwall is the lack of connection people currently have to the agricultural industry. So at the moment there's 6 jobs for every agricultural university graduate. So we're trying to, one, promote ag to everyone, adults, children alike, but also encourage more students to pick agriculture as a career. So we hope to rebuild people's passion and connection with their food. It's not just something we eat, it's not just something we wear, it's something that's part of our everyday lives. Get people growing in their gardens again, admiring nature and taking that time to actually fall in love with the industry that supports us all, keeps us all alive. The Farmwall has been really successful here at the University of Wollongong. We've done a couple different programs with it. One thing we did was integrate it into student courses. So all of the nutrition students at the moment went through and engaged with the Farmwall as part of their lessons, and we noticed that they had a significant increase in interest in sustainable agricultural practices that they wouldn't normally have had if they hadn't have gone through the program. When Farmwall succeeds, we want to see everyone reconnected back to their food and fibre. Wanting to grow food at home themselves, growing food in our offices. We want to see cities being cities that feed the planet, not just physically, but metaphorically, instead of draining on all of our natural systems, helping to contribute to making the world a greener place. And lastly, we would like to see much more students joining the industry so we can have a greener agricultural industry in the future. At 14, I remember sitting in a classroom arguing with a classmate. We had just taken the school cows to slaughter and he couldn't wrap his head around why. I asked him, "Where do you think sausages come from?" He froze, his face a mixture of shock and realisation. It had never occurred to him before to think that the neatly packaged sausages at the grocery store and the cows he had petted at the school farm were one and the same. Moments like these stay with you. They remind us how disconnected we've become from our food, from agriculture, from the very systems that sustain us. But here's the truth. We can reconnect. We can choose to see agriculture not just as an industry, but as a living, breathing story. Because when we choose to connect, we choose to care. And when we care, everything changes. Today, I want to take you on my journey, from disconnected city kid to CTO of an ag tech startup called Farmwall. Growing up on the central coast of New South Wales, it was all about the beach. All I knew about agriculture is that I thought the cows at the school farm were cute. And this was all I needed to pick agriculture as a subject at my high school. In year 10, we set up an aquaponic system. I was instantly mesmerised. Fish producing waste, bacteria turning waste into fertiliser, plants cleaning the water. It was a perfect cycle, a closed-loop ecosystem. Jump forward to 2022. I've graduated university and I'm walking across the stage to collect my degree in agricultural engineering. Alone. The only graduate in my cohort. The reality hit me. For every graduate of an agricultural degree, there are 6 unfilled jobs. And if it hadn't been for cute cows at my high school, the graduation stage would have been empty. Here's what I've learnt. Connection changes everything. But there's a challenge, one we don't talk about enough. 83% of Australians feel disconnected from agriculture. Without more people in our growing industry, We will never meet our climate targets. We will not be able to continue feeding and clothing our population. We need more disconnected city kids like me to be joining the industry, and we need our population to support us. But how can we achieve that if 83% doesn't even understand what we do? The answer is connection. If people don't feel connected, how can we expect them to care, to act, to invest? But you can't just force someone to connect. So how do we get them to care? By tricking them. Just like a parent hiding vegetables and spaghetti to get their child to eat something green for once, we need to be integrating agriculture back into everyone's everyday life. And this is exactly what we're achieving at Farmwall. Farmwall reconnects people to agriculture through vertical aquaponic systems that become part of the office furniture. They're integrated with engagement and reporting into subscription packages. Planning an office yoga session for well-being? Why not replace it with microgreen growing? A recycling demonstration for sustainability reporting? See our live, closed-loop farming display that employees interact with daily instead. We check that box of corporate wellbeing program, sustainability or ESG reporting that corporate offices are already looking to buy, while sneaking a little bit of agriculture into our metaphorical corporate spaghetti. We're turning agriculture into something visible, tangible, interactive, and personal. But most importantly, it works. In a study called Cultivate with Westpac and Mirvac, Farmwall found that 84% of participants in our programs reported an improvement in mood, and 75% a reduction in stress. But the statistic I'm most proud of, 98% reported learning something new. What excites me is we have participants of our programs approaching us, asking questions about agriculture, or informing us of how their newly started gardens are going. We're providing them a chance to learn, to develop passion, and most importantly, to fall in love with our amazing industry. But that's just step one. We need to immerse our population in agriculture, but we also need a stronger foundation of education. Otherwise, it's just a temporary solution of hiding the vegetables in spaghetti, and you have adults living off chicken nuggets instead. But how do we teach them? Our education systems don't have the resources to embark into broader life lessons. For schools, we need a new approach. Students need to be hands-on with agriculture, experiencing how it truly is a STEM subject, and viewing it as a pathway to achieving a sustainable planet, not an obstacle. And all this without adding to an educator's plate. But how do you achieve that? Where do you find the time, the people, the funds? Social enterprising. Farmwall is a for-profit social enterprise. Our model ties corporate industry funds by selling Farmwall subscription into offices to education impact, where we take the profit from that work and deliver initiatives such as free agriculture programs in schools. And again, it works. In a recent study of 500 University of Wollongong students, we found that interest in sustainable agriculture practices surged from 28% to 73% post-Farmwall engagement. This isn't just about education. It's about building a future where agriculture is valued, understood, and supported by all. The disconnection challenges facing agriculture are problems we need to address today. But in this fast-paced world of phones, deadlines, and distractions, how often do we stop to think about what truly matters? Farmwall embeds agriculture into everyday spaces in a way that works for them, and most importantly, by making it personal, real, and fun. The model for impact works. Last year alone, Farmwall engaged over 1,650 students in agriculture from our small team of 3. What are you doing to ensure your future workforce? My call to you is to reach out, to consider what you too might be doing to make a difference in reconnecting our population to agriculture. Wherever it is purchasing a Farmwall subscription or something else entirely, I challenge you to take that step. Because imagine a future where every person, urban or rural, young or old, feels deeply connected to agriculture. A future where sustainability isn't some distant goal, but a shared daily practice. That's the world I envision, and it starts with each of us today. Thank you.